Because if you start to fall asleep, that's the person I pick for answers. Okay. So great. Everybody got a handout? Okay, so let me explain a couple things. The notes that you have are abbreviated. It is not every slide in the deck. It's the ones that put everything on one slide. That's what you got. All the other ones, I didn't think you needed. So, well, I'm Scott, and thanks for being here. So, real quick, this is my net. You guys always know I ask this. Who's wearing a name badge? 1, 2, 3. On your coat? Yeah, mine's all dry.
It's in my car.
In my car.
In my
Okay,
purse.
so here's what's the 3 words you're going to hear most in real estate?
How's the market?
How's the market? How are they going to ask you if you're not telling them you're a real estate broker? They can't, because you don't have it on your, well, I used to have it on my forehead. I had it taken off. But when I got married. But really, guys, this gets me 2 deals a year. And I'm not joking about this. This gets me 2 deals a year, and I don't have to do anything to get them except wear a name badge. Except wear a name badge. If I'm dressed at all and have a shirt on, it's got a name badge on it. Now, I don't wear it to church. You know, there's things I don't wear it to, okay, certainly. I did wear it to my mom's 80th birthday, but that's only because she knows a lot of 80-year-old ladies, and they're all selling their houses. That's it. No. Okay, let's get going. Listings 80. Who was in 1 and 2? Anybody? 2? 2? Okay. They're maybe a little bit of review, but not much. Today's objectives: be able to meet and dialogue with sellers. I think we all can say we can talk to sellers, but are we doing it in a way that helps them? Normally, we talk in a way that helps us. Open houses is where we're going to have these conversations. Expired listings for sale by owners. Everybody hates those things, don't they? There's 3 things that people tend to hate for. Opens, we'll all do them, but put a FSBO in front of somebody, put an expired in front of somebody, and they can start to panic, sweat. And we give them to new people because we like to screw with them. That's why we do it. Okay, for sale by owners, discuss and handle objections. We're going to do that. On price, fee, and competing company. Those are the 3 big guys. If you could handle those 3 objections on their own, you've got 90-95% of every objection already covered. The other ones are going to be, well, what if we don't want to sell now? Well, what about my brother? What if I want to use my brother? Well, if your brother's the top guy in the city, use him. If he's not, you need me. Okay, this is the attitude you're going to have when you work FSBOs, expires, and go to open houses. I love, that guy's got an attitude, doesn't he? It's kind of like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. That's the attitude you're going to have here. I'll do whatever it takes. Honestly, guys, I don't like those, never did. I work them. I always get 2 or 3 deals. It's just that simple. These are by phone calls. I'm knocking on the door. 2 types of leads. There's possible. What are some possible places to get a lead? Possible.
Your mom's 80th birthday.
Yes. Thank you. No, internet calls, ad calls, sign calls, cold calls. Those are places you can possibly get them. But they're low return activities. If I'm going to do something, my time's precious. What about yours? Everybody's got precious time, don't they? Okay, I'm just going to ask this one question. How many of you are there in this world? There's just one. Who's the most important person in your world? Me. Yes, thank you. She's the most important. We all would go, oh, my husband, my wife, my kids. Okay, here's the deal. What happens if I'm not here? What happens if I don't take care of it? Okay? It becomes kind of senseless, doesn't it? Take care of yourself. You're the most important person in your world. Take care of yourself. And when you get in the right frame of mind, this is the stuff that's high return. Okay? Open house, expired for sale by owner. And friends and family, it's called that sphere, or I call them contact. I've always hated that word sphere.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Like, oh, you're in my sphere. People go, what? No, you're in my contact base. Okay, open houses. Let's talk about opens. How many people do opens? How many? Thank you. Thank you. How are they working for you, by the way?
Great.
Is this a market that's kind of responding to that now? Yeah, why? Because not pricing, but activity level is dropping. Okay? And pricing, yeah, the value of the home's probably there, but now I gotta compete with another guy. Last month, people were paying this price, but now I got 10 others they can choose from. The value's still there, but I gotta up my game. Maybe I gotta adjust my price. Okay? Open house. What's the purpose of an open?
Sell the house.
I'm not gonna say no.
To get
Never say
listings.
no when you're teaching. Never say no. What's the purpose of the open? I've said this before.
To get listings.
Lead generation.
That's right.
Yeah.
You hit it right on the head. To meet sellers. To meet sellers. This is what we tend to do. Newer people, and even us as vets, tend to fall into the, I'm going to find a buyer. I'm going to go get a buyer today. I'm going to go to an open house. Okay. 60% of the people that are walking through your open live in the neighborhood. Done the way I do them. 60% live in the neighborhood. What happens when people live in the neighborhood? Where are they coming from? Their house, right? Do they own it?
Yes.
Yep. Does that mean they're going to sell someday?
Yes.
Yes. So, great. Where's your contact base? It's those people. Okay? So an open house is there to meet sellers. Find future sellers from the neighborhood. Find other seller prospects. Now this would be, you're not from the neighborhood. What's got you in today? We get a lot of neighbors. You guys live in the neighborhood? If I make an assumption of someone, what do they do if I'm wrong? What are they instantly going to want to do?
Correct you.
Correct you. And this is because the human brain says, I want to be right. And it's okay if I point out that you're wrong. And that's why people correct you when you make an assumption. That's human psychology. And when they do, they just told me now everything I wanted to know originally. I didn't really ask the question so much as I wanted to know where they came from. I make an assumption. If she's across town, we're looking in this area because I've got it because of work. You know, I don't like the 16-hour commute. That's what it is like here from Seattle. Holy crap, the Bellevue. Jeez Louise, you guys, how do you do this? I mean, I just don't know how you do this. I pack water, food, change of clothes.
Fuel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Find other seller prospects. They come from everywhere. Find buyer prospects, of course. Hey, if a guy walks in and goes, hey, we're really interested in buying a home. I'm sorry, you're not a seller. I can't help you. Who would do that? No, we're going to help these guys. And improve your personal interaction with customers. Here's the deal. Customer or client, by the way. What's the difference? Because I'm going to reference both types. Customers and clients, what's the difference?
An agreement?
An agreement. A client, I am now contractually obligated to represent that guy or do something for him. Customers are just people that come and spend money with me. I have no contractual obligation. Okay? What does Safeway have upstairs? What do they get? Clients or
Customer.
customers? They get customers. Are they under contract? Do you have to go to shop at Safeway? No, you don't. Well, I guess if you lived right here, you probably would. But you don't have to shop there. That makes you a customer. But if they said, hey, will you sign a contract with us? We'll give you 25% off all of your groceries if you'll exclusively shop at Safeway. That would be, now I'm a client. Okay? Interaction, I say interaction with customers. The reason practice. I can screw up so bad with these people, and two really cool things happen. Okay, I mean, I can screw up really bad. This is a great training ground. I can screw up really bad. One, they don't know I'm wrong. They don't know what it's supposed to be. And two, I'll never see them again. I don't even have to get embarrassed. I'm going to see them at church. I'll never see those people again. So practice. And if it doesn't come off, that's okay. Try it on the next guy. Okay? So, sellers want to know what the current market's doing. This is people walking through your home that are sellers. Most of them in your neighborhood, right? They want to know what? Some things. One of them is, what's the market doing? So what do you want to take to your open?
Comps.
Market data. So comps are good. I never get specific. I never get specific. But I do take a list that says active pending, sold last 30 days. But I start big, go big, macro to micro. So I give them a market report that comes from the MLS every month, tells you everything you want to know about King County, Pierce County. Okay? Then I go down and I say, okay, where are you living within that space? Because those stats don't break out except on the second page. So I give them that page. And the third page, I give them the active, pending, and sold. Here's activity in the marketplace. And these are sold last 30 days. Wow. Right here in our market. When I do that report, that's within a square mile. I don't get much bigger than that. Because I don't really want them and I talking about a market that's a long ways away. I want them talking about this market. So what their home's worth, how many people know that sellers go through trying to figure out what their house is worth by walking through yours? How accurate could that be? It just couldn't be, and I'll tell you why. Every house is unique. Yeah. Could I say with confidence how you put your pants on? I could, okay? But I'll bet you it's the same way. No, I can't. He's unique. He sits upside down and puts them on. Okay? And here, I don't mean to pick up. What's your name?
Justin.
Justin. Okay, I remember that.
You can handle it.
You get the gift certificate today. No, I don't know. It would be completely different for each person, wouldn't it? Something a little bit different. I've been in new construction projects and have a house here and 8 doors away have a complete replica of that house, right down to the color schemes, and they're valued different. One's corner, one's bigger lot, view, no view. They're all unique. Your sellers in your open house area are walking through trying to figure out what their house is worth. So what can we offer them that would give them a specific number? Don't say CMA, remember? We all,
Full market report.
complete report of value. Complete report of value. We do not say CMA. Everybody raise your hand and swear off. Okay, here it goes. I will
I will.
never,
Never.
ever,
Ever.
again,
Ever.
use the word CMA.
Use the word CMA.
Okay? Everybody calls them a CMA. Everybody calls them a CMA, don't they? We use it interchange between brokers. People will call and go, yeah, I need a CMA. And you go, what is that? And they go, Charlie's marketing out. I don't know what CMA stands for. There's 18 different ways to interpret it. Well, you know what? I don't do CMAs. They're a dime a dozen. Unfortunately. You press a button, a computer can pop that thing right out. When my computer will be able to come over here, take notes on your house, meet you, introduce themselves, give you a bio, and do a complete report of value that's accurate, then I'll start using my computer. But until then, you get me personally to be able to do this. Now, which would you rather have, the CMA or what I just explained to you? Once in a while I ask a question I expect to, report of value. That's what I would ask for. Man, I want one of those. What happens when the next guy goes, they go to the next, they'll go to another open. You don't think that they're, exclusively dating you. They go to another open, they say something, what's the guy going to offer him?
A CMA.
If he does, he's going to offer him a CMA. And in her mind, she just went, man, they're a dime a dozen. They're a dime a dozen. Okay? I've already sold my, remember we talked prior, differentiation tends to make you look better. You're unique, you're different, there's a reason, it's because I'm better. Take it that way, okay? So what their home's worth, we'll work that. What the agent does to sell a home, and I'll tell you, this is clearly exampled in what you're standing in and how you're doing it. So easy because they can see what you're doing and how you're doing it. I mean, this is the real deal. This is how I get homes sold, okay? Remember, when you meet with somebody, don't say, I will sell your house. Our job as listing agents is to get them sold. If you say, I will sell your house, I cannot tell you how often I've heard this. That guy never even showed the house. And he didn't write the contract, some other guy did. And he told us he was going to sell it. We were hoping he'd reduce the fee. They're all upset. I don't want to represent I'm going to sell it. Because 98% of the time, 99% of the time anymore, I don't. I want to represent, though, I will get it sold. I will get it sold. There's a difference. Okay, local neighborhood stats that goes along with your current market. Refinancing information. Now that is actually refinancing. I don't even know. I don't even think loan officers know how to spell that word right now. Because there's none of it. Okay, there's zero of it. But it will come back. The other part, instead of refinancing, you could take loan information on the house. What's a conventional, what's an FHA, what's a USDA, any of those things. Great reason to take somebody with you to an open. Great reason to take somebody with you to an open. That person being loan officer. And then marketing the open, so we're going to talk about how do I get the word out. So knock 40, we got that from Paul Frank. I think that's kind of cool, but I think it came from KW. So you see that, somebody says, oh yeah, knock 40. That was probably, because he's been at KW, he brought all that stuff. But knock 40 means for me, I'm going to do an open. So here's how my process. Friday, I bring it on. Friday afternoon, I'm at it. Everything is 100% today. I don't go put the sign in, next week I'll do a flyer, next week I'll do an open, next week. You know, how far do I have to go to figure out this thing? Maybe I'm having a problem with it. Well, by the time you get through 10 different things that you should have done the first day, now you're 10 weeks out figuring out, crap, we kind of screwed up. Get it all in the first day, and you'll know in 2 or 3 days, did we hit it or didn't. In this last market, you know, I was getting 20, 30 showings in it. Holy smokes. Well, if we didn't have an offer on Monday morning, what happened? I didn't price it correctly. It's either price or presentation. 3 things you can change. Price, presentation, market. That's all you can screw with to get something sold. All you can screw with. If people are in the house, that proves to me, and it proves to them, the marketing is working. Marketing works when you get people in the door. If you got nobody in the door, ooh, okay, let's figure this out. Something's wrong. But those are the only 3 things. Now, if the house isn't, this is a side note, if the house isn't selling, and you're into the 2nd week and you've had some showings, it's almost like sometimes, you know, you just, let's go down a rabbit trail. Oh, that's got a rabbit trail. That's got a rabbit trail. Where was I? I'm sorry, I'm having a senior moment. I am an old guy, Justin, honestly. Swear to God.
Not getting showing.
Not getting showings. If we get showings, we've got nothing. But here's the deal. If we're having showings, they step in and they step back out and walk away, that means I'm pretty close. I'm probably within 7%, 6% of where I need to be. Because I'm getting them in the door, they're just not seeing the value. Buyers buy value or price?
Value.
Value. They buy value. They gauge it against price to say, am I going to buy that? Unfortunately. Good salespeople say, well, what would you pay? What is this worth? We've seen comps. Where should this be? Well, geez, they're 15 high. Well, let's write the thing. Let's write it. Let's write it. If you're getting those showings, if you're not getting any showings, you better go back to date and figure out, hey, did I even remember to put it in the computer? I told you guys that was my mistake once. Okay? Yeah, I'm 10 days in, I can't figure out no showings. What the hell's going on? Go to the computer. What? How come I'm not finding? Oh my God. Yeah, I had to go and apologize to sellers that I wasn't doing my job. That's hard. That's hard. I've never made that mistake since. Trust me. Do it once, you're going to feel like an idiot. I don't like feeling like it. I never did it. Okay, so in pricing, if I'm getting showings, they're not there. But marketing is working. Now, your seller is going to say, marketing is not working. How come we don't have an offer? You need to do an open. And I got this the other day. A big house, it's around Lake Oswego, it was 2.2. And the guy goes, we listed it, got an offer like next day. It was from the neighbor's friend. I was like, how do you luck into this stuff? I'm having to play with fee on that one, by the way. At $2 million, nobody's going to give you $60,000. And pay the other guy his $60,000. It's a little goofy. But he's going to go, you need to run a New York Times ad. You need to get this down in Los Angeles. You know, guys, print media, it's gone. There's not even a real estate section there going in and doing it. There isn't one. Everything's online. That, in case we're getting traffic, well, the marketing is working, Frank. So that only leaves 2 other things, because it's only price, presentation, or marketing. Marketing's there. What's the other 2? Price and presentation. Okay? Maybe we should do this. I don't want to mess with price yet. I'm not getting showings or they're not coming back for a second look. I'm not going to go to price first. In presentations, Frank, the word we're getting is that people wonder where you're keeping the horse in the back room. It smells like it, but sure there isn't. Okay? And maybe we could do something to work it. Now, part of our prep, how much can you do? That was one of the things he said I can't do. Okay, maybe now you want to sell your house, maybe it's time to sell horse. But go to presentation first. Presentation's all great, what's it leave? Price. Did the value change? Did the value of that home change?
No.
No, it did not. The value did not change. And buyers buy value. We have to equate the price with the value, okay? In this case, the value didn't change. We priced it wrong against the value. Most people think, hey, your value is 200 grand. What would they list for? What would they want to go? 209, 215. Oh, let's throw some money in. I need some negotiating room. Yeah, I want to test the market, whatever. Okay? Knock 40 means I go to my open, and the Saturday morning before, so I'm coming on Friday, Saturday morning, usually 10, 11, that's my sweet spot. Okay, 10 or 11, and I knock 40 doors around that open. Okay? It's an invitation to come to the house. If you knew anybody and you wanted to add to them, just pick your neighbor. That's actually what's on the top of my flyer. Pick your neighbor. Send them down. Let's look at it. And we're doing a coat drive. We got 112 coats last weekend, by the way. 112 coats. Which means roughly, unless everybody was bringing 6, that there were probably 50 extra people through his open because he was asking for coats. For homeless. It works great, guys. Now, I'm going to ask you this. And I've heard, hey, geez, Art, and I've heard it. He's told them, that guy told me, my agent never did anything like this. This is cool. This is cool. Now, I do every Wednesday, you know, I work with homeless. Okay, every Wednesday. We cook 120 hot dogs under the Hawthorne Bridge. You guys ever in town, come on down. Okay, 5 o'clock to 6. We do 120, so if it runs out, you're gonna miss. Be there early. Okay, we do dill relish. Those guys crazy. See, here's the deal. People go, God, your motivation's so wrong for this. Your motivation for this is so wrong because, you know, here's this kind of cheap thing you're doing to get people in. You know what? The homeless guys I work with, do they care about my motivation? What do they care about? The coats. Go get the coats, and people will bring them in hordes, honestly. I throw my truck, I got a 150, I say throw it in the back of my bed. Throw it in the back of my bed. And I mean, we get them. And this is the time of year, okay? Yes?
So you advertise this with your open house that you're...
When I'm knocking doors, because I want the
you're
neighbors to
knocking
come.
doors, okay.
Yep, I want the neighbors to come. So my knock my 40, I step out of the door of that house, I walk down 10, cross the street, do 20, cross the street, do 10. That's it. I don't go, oh God, I'm going to do 75. I got some extra. Don't start that process. Do 40. But then be consistent about it, okay? Create a video. How many people do videos? Okay? Here's where you want to pump them up. Go down to social media. Facebook. Instagram. You know what? Who's under 30, by the way? Okay. Jeez, have you guys heard of Snapchat? Gotta tell you, us old guys, we got to figure this out. Snapchat's the new Instagram. And you want to talk to younger people, you better be using Snapchat. And they have got some cool stuff. It is not, I love you, and it balloons away in 5 seconds or something like that. Yeah.
Snapchat's a little tricky. Just I have friends who work for them here in their Seattle office, and their target audience is actually high school kids. So I think it's so young that I almost feel like it would be not a waste of effort, but it would be difficult to find anyone who has the capital to purchase a home in that market.
Could.
I mean, Instagram is more in my age group with like 20s and 30s.
Sure. So here's the deal. I use them all. If I knew where this guy was coming from, why am I doing any of it? I just go get him. Because I have no idea, he may be living in Bangkok right now. I don't know. So I do it all. I try to hit it all. Create a video, knock it on there. Contact list. These are people that haven't done anything, but they're in my contact base. And all I do is I make it's either email or I send, voicemail, and they're fast. They're fast. Hey, if you guys are still in the market, I've got open today, stop by. That's about it. Here's the address, here's the time. But get a hold of those people. Yard signs. When I say yard signs, I mean open boards. The more you do, the more your traffic's going to grow. So, and I did this was like 3 weeks ago. I'm working with a brand new agent. I show up at the open. I gave her about 10 of my boards. And I showed up, and I know 9 of them are still at her house. She's only got 1 sitting in front of the house. Only 1. Okay, now, who's going to come to your open out of the neighborhood unless they walk by or drive by your 1 sign? Okay? I went back home, I got more signs, and we put them up. We had traffic. But those signs bring about there was an NA number I'm trying to remember, but it's like over 40%, less than 50, but it's over 40%, will come off your signs. People drive areas they want to live in. So give them the opportunity to come see it. Open house checklist. This guy, this is the best piece I've ever seen, and it is in my office. Okay? This is in my office.
Thank you.
This piece is the best piece I've ever seen. It's so comprehensive, it's actually almost overwhelming. Now it says open house. Thank you. Extras you can just leave on the tables and I'll pick them up when we get done. So it says open house. I put this into Adobe BC and I have one that says prepping your home for sale. Kind of the same thing. But I give this to people. This is when we list, because I got to give them to a week ahead of listing. And they're going, open house? Yeah, a week ahead for the open because I'm here Friday. What are you going to get done on Saturday before I'm here on Sunday? Okay? Give it to them early. But this is a great piece. Put them on the hook to do this stuff, but do it this way. That's so overwhelming. If you gave that to me, I would go, man, how am I going to get that done? Here's what you want to do. What 3 or 4 things could you get done on here before we lose, or before the open? And highlight those things with them. That's their worksheet, not the whole thing. But what happens is they get the 4 things done and they start looking on the list for other stuff. Make sense? But it's a great piece. Use it. It's a great piece. It's in my office under, I don't know if it says marketing materials or print media or something like that. Okay. This is what I want you to do. This little video. This is either my opens are one way or the other. Like everybody know, don't do an open on Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, I've made that mistake 20 times. Okay, because I'm not a football guy. I'm not a football guy. I don't hold opens like last night or tonight because of World Series. I'm a baseball guy. Okay? This is what I want you to do. Raise your hand when this guy needs help. Should be dialing 911 and bringing in somebody else.
How are you? Hi, I'm Chuck. Nice to meet you. How are you? And yours?
Oh, Carl. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Go on in. Get yourself signed in. There's a sign-in registry right there. Oh. How are you? I didn't mean to slam the door in your face. Hi, I'm Chuck. What's your name?
Carrie, I'm 15.
Hey, how are you? Come on in. Let's get you signed in.
Okay, what point? What point? I'm dialing for dollars right now.
Janine Sullivan? Mike Sullivan.
Nobody's clapping.
Sure.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Maybe they're all going out the back door and had food in the kitchen. This is what I have also had, and I think you guys too. Oh yeah. Ever been to a boring open house? Got a live one, got a live one.
Hi, I'm Chuck Edershaw. How are you?
Hi, I'm actually the neighbor across the street, and I just wanted to see what the kitchen looked like. I heard they did some renovations to it.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Come on in.
Now, that's what an open can be. That's what an open can be. I think this guy just had one sign. Put signage up, people just show up, guys. I mean, honestly, they just show up. What was funny, he's got someone in front of him that's going to sell her home someday, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So now the process starts. How can I illustrate to this person? One, I can be a resource for everything you would need, including contractors or otherwise, okay? Including all those people. And I can be a resource for real estate. You want to understand the marketplace. Don't go to Zillow. It's not accurate, it's a computer. Call me, I'll put together a report of value for you. Okay, your open house action plan. Selected, plan and open. Geez, I think we're all going to do that if it's an open house thing, we're going to plan an open, right? How many people plan an open instead of just going to an open? Plan these things out. Where am I? Like it's select the materials you're going to use. Checklist. Prepare a follow-up plan for your contacts. report your results, and in an open, have a plan that says, how am I going to follow up with these guys? How am I going to follow up with these guys? So report your open house to your manager or mentor. Who's got a mentor? Who's got a mentor? Okay. So get to the mentor. Hey, and this is the results I had, and I had this problem, or this came up. That's what a mentor is for, to give you their experience, okay? Any questions about opens? We've all done them, so it's pretty simple, but remember why you're there. Remember why you're there. This is what's going to look like when your work expires. That's, and I got a guy in Lake Oswego. You're an expired guy? Oh. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like my first week.
Oh,
right now,
wow. Oh
and,
my gosh, you guys.
I'm just, I was unfamiliar with the Return Market Report and how it differs from the CMA.
There is no difference.
Oh.
Yeah, there's really, physically, it's different because it's going to look different, play different. You're going to play it different.
Just using the wording.
But it's just the word.
advantageous.
So in the office, we're still going to call it CMA.
Right.
I mean, market report, whatever you want to call it. But for them, you want to be different. And as soon as I say, man, CMAs are a dime a dozen, I didn't say bad about anybody. But I talked about their work product. And I threw them all in the same can and I said they're a dime a dozen. Anybody ever meets her and wants to do a CMA, that's what she's thinking. Believe it. That guy in Nathan Jones, expired at FISBO, he's in the Lake Oswego office. He stands at a pedestal, headset on. He's going to call 100 people today. He's been doing it for 8 years. Yeah. Do 100 times, he's 5 days a week. He does not work the weekends. He's 5 days a week. He does so much business, it's crazy, and it's with the hardest people in the world to deal with. Okay? Hardest people. But he does it. Guess what he's got in front of him? On every call.
Script.
A script. You've said that a million times, Nick. Yeah, but if I ever get stuck, something comes up, I'm not ready for it, boom, I got the script. You just go right back to it. And he's very good at it. Sellers have options, don't they? What are the options for an expired listing? What are their options now?
Go to a different.
They go to another company, they could relist the property, they could just go off the market, right? They could relist, take the house off the market, they could list it for sale by owner. Now you don't see that in expires. I will tell you that you won't see many for sale by owners that came out of an expired listing. It just doesn't happen much. They're usually at that point, it's not working. And how do we think after having such professional help, they couldn't get it done how we are going to get it done? I don't know. So, list house for sale by owner, and then list with you. That's, of course, the one we want. Here's pre-contact activities. So, you're going to plan ahead before you contact, and then you're going to have follow-up afterwards. Identify areas of appropriate price ranges to target. I don't work the west side of Portland. I think I've told you that before. I don't go to the other side of the Willamette River. It's worse than driving here to Bellevue, Kirkland, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I just hate it. And I don't know the market. I'm not the best person to help whoever that is over there because I don't know the market. I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And that's, I'm at best. I could work yin-yang off, I almost said ass, yin-yang off. To know that marketplace, I'd probably get to be average, mediocre. You know what? I don't get business when I'm mediocre. Because there's some other guy over there that's excellent. Don't let him come to my market, because I'm excellent. Okay? Be good at what you're good at and stay within that circle. What we want to continue to do in our career is what? Expand our circle. Okay? But don't get outside of it. Don't get outside of it. There's big dangers in that. For me, east side of Portland. And I want a specific price point because that's what's moving. Now, if it's my own, guys, I hold other people's houses open. Because I like to meet people and I like to get leads and I like to sell houses. For me, I probably am only listing 2 a month. Okay? So I'm only going to have 2 opens of my own. I like to have 3 a month if I can do it. Lori doesn't like it. But honey, this is what's going to get us retired. Okay? Then she's up for it. Oh, you mean this Scottsdale? Yeah. Oh, no, Scottsdale. Yes, that way. Identify areas, appropriate price ranges, pull every listing and review prior market. So all those expires. Pull them, pull the full report, and figure out if you can, how come this didn't sell? And you're going to do that by doing a short report. Short report is, hey, this is just what the value's at. This is where it should be. Well, you're going to have what didn't work. It's probably not a far press to figure out what would work. Okay? And I do that short report because when I contact them, I want to know what I'm talking about. If they said, well, we didn't have a great agent, and I can see that they were $80,000 overpriced, okay, was it the agent?
Yeah, they took an over price.
They took an over listing and didn't do anything to get it reduced. I don't know that situation, but I know they're in the wrong price point. So all of a sudden I know maybe the conversation, whenever I get it, and how it's going to have to drift over that way. Okay? The hunt list, that's mine. My hunt list is, okay, geez, and this is true, we're getting 50, 60, 75 listings expiring every day. Every day in our marketplace. But here's what I tell you. Nathan Jones, okay? Nathan calls all over the city. He works basically Multnomah County, Clackamas County, and Washington County. It's huge. It's like King County. Nathan Jones is going to call those guys today. It expired last night at midnight. Okay? I don't want to compete with Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones has done this thousands and thousands of times. Nathan Jones kicked my ass. I'm not going to do that. Here's the expires I pulled. 2nd, 3rd, 6th month expired. Who's calling those people? They got 1,000 phone calls the first day. Who's calling them now? We're 2 months out from being expired. Who's calling them? Nobody. That's exactly the right. You get the price. Nobody is calling these guys. Yeah.
Well, no, that's being out of space.
Nobody is calling those people. Do you think they might still need real estate help? Maybe they're trying to reach out to somebody right now. You don't know that. But I can tell you this, I don't have competition on the 2nd, 3rd, 6th month expired. Now maybe their situation changed. Maybe it was, we just let it expire, it's the end of the year, we're going back to the market in March. Oh, that's great, you're going to use Jack again? I mean, he's a good agent. No. If they say yes, if they say no, what do you want to do? If they say no, what do you want to do? Get an appointment, okay? If they say yes, what do you want to do? Thank you. You want to get, when you guys go to the market, and you're working with Jack, and I don't know Jack, Jack's some other place, but Jack has a reputation, he gets the job done. He didn't hear. Well, when you get with Jack, you're going to get his report, that's all great. Call me and I'll put together your second opinion of value. Put together your second opinion of value. I've already put in his head he needs one. He's supposed to have one. When I do second opinions for folks, there's no obligation and I don't charge. There's no charge for this. But I think getting a second opinion, especially for values, is very important. If you were going to have your heart surgery done, would you might want to talk to 2 guys or just one? You might want to get a second opinion before somebody cuts my chest open. Okay? I'm still going to use the first guy if the second guy doesn't impress me more. But what happens when I get my foot in the door? Have you taken my class? You're good.
Oh, sorry.
No, here, honestly.
I'm sitting
you
up
probably
front.
like her more than
I can see it all. I
No.
just have to see.
This is what? Put your foot in the door. What's the second opinion value? Just get my foot in the door. If you give me an equal playing field and we're both in the same house, I'm going to win. I am going to win. It's a fight. And I am going to win. But I'm not going to do it by taking the other guy down. I'm going to do it by raising me up. Does that make sense? Okay? And this isn't an ego trip, guys. This is not ego. Although I have a huge one, I know. No, it's not ego. It's saying, I will get this job done for you. I will get your home sold. You have to be able to convey that. So set up your hunt list, short report, follow-up plan. Here's what you're doing when you contact these people. Make an introduction via phone. I never knock a door of an expired. There's one common theme, common to all expireds. What is it? It's an attitude on the part of the seller. What is it? They hate real estate brokers, guys. They think,
You sell it the first time.
we think we don't do anything for the money, and they didn't even do anything to not make the money. They don't like us, okay? They got burned out. That's why they're not back on the market. And by the way, you're gonna call an expired, always make sure they're not still back on the market now, okay? But I always call. I call expired. Now, a lot of agents, cheap, pull the telephone number. I don't know why. Are they afraid that I'm gonna talk to a past seller of theirs? It just doesn't make sense for me.
Sellers will request that sometimes too.
But if you, yeah, because they don't want the 1,000 phone calls.
Right, exactly.
They don't want the 1,000 phone calls. But there are ways you can get them. Now, there's a gal, last week in Lake Oswego, in fact, there's a program somewhere, and I think it's $1 a number. $1, one number. But it has like cell phones. A majority of them, cell phones. I can't remember the name of the program, and I haven't looked it up. It's a website. It's like cell phone number are us or whatever. But I thought, you know what? I spend $10, $20 to get that telephone number, especially for a good listing. I'll get you guys that information as soon as I figure it out. Make an in-person introduction by visiting them. If the phone call goes well, and it doesn't, hey, I'll drop off some marketing materials. Would you want to keep on the list of finding out what's going on in the market? Did you guys make a decision you're just going to do this next year? Well, following the history of real estate this next year could really help you when you get there. They say, sure. I go, you know what? I'm going to be by your area. I'll drop it off. Okay? Unfortunately, they're in Sandy. Okay? It's a 20-minute drive from my house. What am I going to drive to?
Sandy.
Sandy. No, I'm going to drive home. No, I'm going to drive to Sandy. I'm going to go by that because I want to do this. Justin, thanks so much. Hey, I just want to make sure I got this stuff in your hand and just kind of say hi. I'm your resource man. You need anything, you just let me know. And then shut up. He's going to either say I need it or I don't, or thank you and close the door. Either way, I've gotten this thing. Okay? I've gotten that. And that's twice or 3 times as much as any other agent will do. Isn't that funny? Most agents won't call expireds. Most won't knock on the door of a for sale by owner. When you're doing this, and especially when you're doing second or third month, they are forgotten. They are forgotten leads. You go back, you just gave that guy some, hey, you can do this, you know, you're going to be able to make this something. You're giving them a little pump up. Okay? Make it in person. Bring market data for the neighborhood. Again, I'm just going to drop some stuff off. Bring a personal brochure. You'll see my personal brochure is not a trifold. Don't do a trifold. They get recycled like in 10 minutes. Okay, I'll show you how to get it in their hands. And some promo material. Offer to produce a complete report of value. You know, when you guys are ready, I'd be glad to put together a complete report of value for you. I don't charge my clients, I wouldn't be charging you. There's no charge. But let me know when you're ready for that. That's all. I just offer the service. Just offer the service. Get the follow-up appointment to walk through. What that is I'd love to do that. And so I'd love to do a complete report of value for you guys when you're ready for it. Well, we're ready. Great. Let me tell you how I handle that. Remember we talked about that? I want to walk this guy through my processes. I don't want him thinking I'm going to walk through with a contract and a pen, trying to get him to sign something. Well, let me tell you how to handle that. I'm going to just come over, take 5-10 minutes, just take a bunch of notes. And then I'll go back about 2 days, business days usually. Later, I'll come back, we can present, I'll just go through it if you'd like. I can drop it off at the house. Normally, you're going to get, oh, thanks so much. Want a cup of coffee? And you'll be able, if you have time, you're going to take us 10 minutes. But I can explain a little bit better what's in it. Okay? Get the follow-up appointment. Send a personal note before you leave. If you're at the door, any door, ever, before you leave, send a note, take it to the post office. Specific to this, I want them to get that before I go back. Specific to my saying thank you for just shaking my hand, that's the big one. That's it. Send a personal note. People do this. No, that didn't go well. I'm not going to send a note. Guys, drop the 50 cents on the envelope. Send it. What could hurt? What could hurt? It could only help. Nobody's going to be offended you send them a personal note. Well, I would be, but that's because I'm a real estate broker. Okay, follow-up plan and move on to the next expired. I will say this. I get people that get hung up on expireds and they get one and they get the tunnel focus and they work it all day. You know, move on. If that's not flowing, move on. You can always come back to it, but here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is scary. You've got 5 calls today, and you get hung up on the first one and you don't get to the other 4, those 4 needed what you have today. They needed it, and you weren't there to provide it. In that case, guess who they're calling tomorrow? Okay? So, expired action plan. Make your list, schedule your days and times. I always schedule my time for this stuff. I'm 2 days a week, I'm about an hour. I usually start half an hour, but I book an hour. Okay? And that's on usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. I love doing the expireds on Tuesday after tour. Just because I'm there. So about 11 o'clock, something like that. And I'll work that for an hour. On Thursdays I do it a little bit earlier, but then I'm ready to go back out and knock doors. Okay? Knock doors. I put all my stuff together, then I'm out knocking doors. It takes me about an hour. Again, I'm only in my market area. Prepare your scripts. Oh my gosh, scripts. Oh no! Guess what Tay's going to put you through? Okay, plagiarize. Guys, if you hear something that's good, use it. There's nothing new in real estate at all. Practice your scripts. Okay? Get a partner. And here's what I'm going to tell you about partnerships. When you're doing scripting, and I still practice scripts. I still practice, because mine continually change. What's hot in the market, what's not. You know, when I came up with the second opinion of value thing, my scripting had to change. I couldn't use the old script because it was like, no, this is all I got to offer. No, what do I say when they say no? Oh, well, thanks a lot, bye. That's all I could do. No, that doesn't get you anywhere. You've got to update your scripts. But practicing with a group, 3 people minimum. 3 people in your group minimum. You do 2, you know how easy it is to cancel that little appointment? One person says, you know, I can't make it, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. What's the other person doing? You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing.
Go to the bar.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. You lead, I'll follow. Okay? You can't do anything. You do 3 if 2 people can't make it. That's usually pretty rare. But at least you got to practice. Okay? 3. 3-legged chairs, strong. 2-legged none. Okay, get a partner to work with, and then practice your scripts. Okay? Listen to what I say. Practice your scripts. Oh, and practice your scripts. Oh, and practice your scripts. Okay? And what are we going to do? We're going to practice. We're going to practice. If you do not practice this stuff, okay, I'm going to tell you when you say it, it'll sound clunky. You want to make it sound, what? Behind, no. Right in front of the 3 words you're going to hear in your career, which is what? How's the market? Is I love you. They're the most 3 said words in the world. Do you know that? The 3 most words said in the world, I love you. Everybody say that. I love you. Not me, just I love you. Say it.
I love you.
How easy did that come out? Easy. Why? We say it all the time. You know, Lori's probably getting tired of hearing it. We say it all the time. It comes out so naturally. It's just part of me. I'd be glad to do a second report of value for you. A second opinion. It's a complete report of value. You'd be able to use it for the next 6 months. Glad to do that for you. It's got to come out. And here's the deal. Scripts don't script the way you talk. They script the way the script talks. Guess what works better? The way the script talks. Okay? These scripts, they've been around forever. You know why? Because they work. Because they work. Okay, for sale by owners. Who loves for sale by owners? Yes?
Do you have a resource for scripts?
Oh yeah, you're going to get them today.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to get a bunch today. We're not script practicing in this class. That's going to be on you.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed something or.
Probably not, I left it out.
So you said second report of value. Are you saying you would use that when they said they didn't want?
No, so a lot of times this is what, okay, so I go into Nordstrom to want to buy equipment.
Okay.
And I go into Nordstrom's, and I know I'm gonna walk out of there with a coat. I'm gonna actually pay 15% more than any other place in town. I think because they play piano. Okay? I know that. I'm walking out of here with an overcoat today. I want it tan. It's a 38 regular. I want it a little short, above the knees. Opera coat, I think that's what I want, and I'm walking out of here with one. I looked online. I'm already even shopping there. I looked online, and they've got it. And I go in there, and I'm going to tell you, they got the best salespeople in the world. Hey, hi, I'm Katie. Look, I'm over here to help you, but I don't want to get in your way. If you need anything, just raise your hand. I'll come over and help you. Now, she already took out when I was in Macy's, okay? And I wasn't going to buy there, but I wanted to shop. Okay, how much am I going to pay for this thing? When I went in there, the very first person, oh, hey, hi, I'm Scott. I'm your salesperson. What are you looking for today? Oh, a coat? Okay, great. You're a 38 regular. Okay, I got a black one. Be perfect for you. Come on, I'm good. Come on. That's what they're doing. What do we do when somebody says, hey, can I help you? What do we do? Instantly. Nope, no thanks. I'm just looking. But I'm going to walk out of here with a coat. And I do this. It's instant. Why? We hate salespeople. We hate them. We hate to get sold. You know who's the easiest person to sell? A salesperson. We don't have any sales resistance, by the way, because we get so used to being on the other side. That's a little thing. But I'm going to walk out of here with a coat, but I still do this. These people will walk through your open, and you'll say, oh, you guys, blah, 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 blah. And out comes, now we've got an agent. What did they just tell me?
Back off.
Yeah. Nope, just looking. Okay, just looking. That's the time, well, when you guys get ready to go on the market, call me, and I'll get your second opinion of value for you. Bingo. Puts my foot in the door. And that's all I need. Give me a level playing field. If I can't get my foot in the door, I'm not getting very far, am I? Okay? I get my foot in the door. That's second opinion of value. People all of a sudden start going, oh my gosh, we've never gotten a second opinion. Well, you know what? Heart surgery, you're going to cut me open, I should probably get a second opinion. You're going to sell the highest investment I've ever had in my life. You're going to cut my heart open. Some people would rather get second opinions on their house than they would on their heart. I don't know. Okay, for somebody else, pre-contact activities. Identify areas, appropriate price ranges. Same thing. Don't get outside your area of expertise. Research all the places you can find for sale by owners. Where are those? Craigslist. Probably the number one. Craigslist is the number one. There is a site, I know it's popular in Portland, and so it's everywhere, but I don't know if they service all geographic areas, of course. But it's for salebyowner.com, and it's all one word. I looked for SFBO, and there wasn't anything. I couldn't figure it out. But then I started to think like non-realtors. Well, they wouldn't use FSBO, they would use for salebyowner.com. It's a great place. Craigslist, where else? Zillow, Trulia, all those guys have ability to list your for sale by owner. Figure out who those people are. Create your hunt list. Prepare your short report for each guy. Okay? Now, I pulled 10. I'm not going to do 10. I don't even put 10 on my desk. I might flip 5 and put them, and I'm only going to do 5. Because I start to do 10, I'm not going to get through 10, or I'm going to have to do something, because I only booked an hour. Don't like, well, I got all day. Because here's what happens when I've got all day to do this. I won't start right away. And I'll probably finish her. And when it starts to go sideways on me, I'm going to go, screw this, I'm never doing for sale by owner. Okay? That's what happens. Guys, we're all humans. I mean, that's what happens. Prepare your short report, and all that is pretty much just a price page. That's it. This isn't getting shared with them. The short report does not go to the owner. Okay? Create a follow-up plan for each. You're going to get, or I'm sending to Tate or Russ, my follow-up sheets. They're simple. Here's the address, and here's what I'm going to do. Click, 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 click. Little box, and I check them off. I usually highlight what I want to do. There's some stuff in there I wouldn't do. Okay? I wouldn't do. If you want to have some fun, you're going to work for sale by owners, or you know where one is, and we have a listing near, go hold the house open. I'm going to guarantee you who's going to come through. Guarantee you who's going to come through. Work that, okay? That just made somebody a deal today, this year. Who's gonna get it? You're all supposed to raise your hand. Okay, contact activities. This is what I'm gonna do when I contact these people. In person, I do not call for sale by owner. I knock their door. The reason I do is because I know they will answer the door. Why will they answer the door?
Their house is for
That's
sale.
exactly right. It's also, I always wanted to do this, and there's a video I don't have in here. I actually took it out because it was weird, a little weird. But I've always wanted to put on some weird mask and weird clothes and, hi, you're for sale by owner? Yeah, can I walk through? You got a bathroom? Got some toilet paper in it, right? Okay, what? That's what, they don't know who's coming to their door. That's scary. It's one of the reasons, if there's anything that puts me in great stead to get a FSBO listing, did you know how dangerous this is? Did you know how dangerous this is? For them, it could mean everything. Safety, life. You don't know who's coming to your door. Now, we have an ability to screen our people before we walk them into a house, don't we? And when we walk them in, is the owner even there? Typically not. No, you don't want them there, by the way. You don't want them there for one big reason. Okay? People buy homes, they have to say something bad. They have to make a derogatory statement about something. That's the way the human brain's set up. Okay? We talk about the positives, but we're always going to bring up something negative. Always bring up something negative. Where was we going? What did I ask? I'm sorry.
Someone's gonna say something negative.
That's what you don't want to do. That's what.
You don't want the owner there. They don't, it's not safe for them.
Oh.
You don't want the owner there.
When you're walking a buyer through and they can't say that because why? The owner's right here. I don't want to offend him. I don't know him, but he might have a gun. Okay? They walk out and they get out. So what do you guys think of that house? And in this, it's called a reticular activator. It's in the back here, and because it didn't get discussed, it's like a roadblock. It's like a big rock in the back of my head. It says, something, I don't know. I just didn't get a good feel. You know, you don't get a good feel in a house. You're not buying the house, right? There was something I didn't quite, okay, it was because they couldn't say. And this is sometimes what they'll say, God, they painted every wall purple. I think we're going to have to paint. This needs a paint job. That's the negative. But they're not going to say that in front of you because purple's your favorite color. They're not going to say it. They get outside, well, how'd you, I don't know, I just didn't nap. Okay? Get the owners out of the house. Somebody says, yeah, my wife will be there. Get her to go grocery shop or go pick flowers or do something, but get out of the house. Get out of the way of my buyer. Okay, make an introduction. I go in there. Hi, how are you? Bring market data for the neighborhood. I saw you guys were for sale by owner, and I thought this might be beneficial. I've talked about this before. You're in my market area. You're in my market area. You're in my market area. What that does, it says two things. This is my market area, and you're in it, so you're one of my people. And I'm a real estate broker, and I work an area, and I work it hard, and I'm very good at it. You're in my market area. I'm taking personal possession for you. You're in my market area. I thought this would be helpful for you. When you guys are ready for some real pricing ideas, call me, and I'll be glad to go through those with you. Pricing ideas. People go, huh? Well, we got a pricing ideas. What could you do with price? Honestly, it's like sometimes it's changed the number. I mean, as that simple as it sounds, a $300,000 listing does not sell as well as a $298 listing. Did you know that? Why are beans 99 cents? As stupid as this sounds, why are beans 99 cents and not a buck? What's the value of the can of beans? The value is a buck. Why do we put them at 99 cents? I mean, there's $1 million worth of pennies out there where people are buying beans at 99 cents. They could have paid $1. Why? Because it works. Because that's the way our head works. Wow, 99 cents. Holy crap! We got to do that instead of a buck. That's a pricing. Bring market data. Bring market data. So bring personal brochure, again, your stuff. There is a piece I love to take, if you can pass this around. This piece, I take, hey, by the way, I wanted to just give you an idea that here are some contractors. If you need any of the professional services, here's a list of my guys. And I said, my guys. Plumber, electrician, but the two guys that I send so much business to, one is my landscaper. He's great, Miguel, and he doesn't charge me anymore to do my yard because of so much business I send him. And when I call Miguel, because I call him like every week, somebody needs help, and I call Miguel, Miguel, I need you to get over here tomorrow. He's there. He's there. He put 2 other customers off. He's there. Why is he there? Because he gets a lot of business from me. Exactly. He's respecting that relationship. And I use it. I don't abuse it, but I use it. The other guy's my painter, Abel. Abel's great. He's Russian, only works with cash. But he is the best painter I've ever met. You need some paint job, use this guy. He's great. Because of that, I've given them something. What's the difference between service, or what is service? Let's say that. What is service? It's things we do that we do not charge for. When I go get gas, the guy's filling up my tank and he goes, hey, you want your oil checked? Yeah. He doesn't go, that'll be an extra $1. Then that's why they don't say it anymore. No, if he checks my oil, what is that? What's that called? Service. Service. There's no remuneration, and he's not looking for anything in the return. He's not hoping that somebody will tip the guy. Does that make sense? This is a service item. This is a great service item, okay? Offer to produce a complete report about, let me give you a couple statements for sale by owners. We talked about this last month. You're in my market area. I was just curious, how's your traffic been? Because the rest of the market's starting to wane a little bit. It's starting to wane a little bit. Talk to them like they're real estate brokers, because what do they think they are?
Real estate.
Real estate brokers. So talk to them like that. You go, how's your traffic been? Well, you know, it's pretty busy out here. It's not bad. I mean, we get a couple of cars, you know. No. How many people have seen your house? Who's doing your opens? Who's doing your opens? What kind of traffic did you get through your open? Were they buyers or sellers? These are questions you can ask them for sale by owner, and they start to figure out, oh my gosh, maybe we're in over our head. Maybe we need some help. Now, at this point, I'm going to give them all the service I can. There's one thing I can't do until I get a contract signed. What is that? I can't represent them. I cannot represent them without a contract. The law says if you're going to represent a seller and sell their home, you've got to have a contract. Okay? Produce the complete report of value. Ask the appointment to walk through. Again, when you guys are ready for a complete report, be glad to do that. I do it for my market area, and there's no charge. Not free. I'm not doing a free CMA. I'm going to get home, there's going to be 20 of those coupons in my mailbox. I know that. Send a personal note before you leave. And when I say before you leave, you're not doing it in front of them. You go out in the car, and you pull out that little baggie out of the back. You guys heard me say this before. Send the card. My little baggie's got... No, they're not in the car right now because I'm sending... Here, pass that around. Okay? It's got cards, company cards, my business cards, stamps, envelopes. Okay? On set, I can send a card right now that they will get tomorrow. Do you guys route your mail, I guess, for Seattle? So there are areas like maybe Linwood. Okay? They don't route their own mail. Their mail comes here and routes back. Okay? What that's going to do is add an extra business day to your getting that to them. That's why when I'm doing my complete report of value, I'm 2 business days. I'm 2 business days. Because I need time for that to work. Okay? I need time for the stuff that we'll go. I think we've gone over it before, but I'll give it to you again. Send a personal note before you leave. It's very important. And then move on to the next for sale by owner. This didn't go sideways. Learn a little something and move on.
How about
average, when you were really working for sale by owners, what was your average door time or in-house time, like on your first meeting?
So, and I'll only say this,
I know, because it depends on the person.
sure, but there's still my business. You guys don't, I still work. I mean, this job doesn't pay well enough to not sell real estate. I sell real estate. It's what I'm good at. It's what I'm known for, so I still do that. But for sale by owners, if I could get in the house, they're only letting me in typically to take notes so I can do a report. That's on the first appointment. That's all I'm gonna get. That's at best. At best. What you're there to do is initiate a series of contacts. A series of contacts. Now, send them something like in 3 days. Hey, I saw this article, might help you. Maybe it's on FSBOs. Maybe it's on how to decorate your front yard. I don't know. Ship them something. Service. It's another touch. One more touch. That's the reason I send the card. It's not because I want to, hey, hi, I'm real cutesy. I want to send it. One touch. A touch. Okay? This is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Are you excited your parents listed their home?
Yes.
Turn it up a little.
Turn up the volume.
The volume's up. Let me try my computer here. This is the most difficult office sometimes to work. Yeah, I'm all in, guys. Sorry. Let's go back. Okay. You know why I'm a real estate agent? You guys know why? Because I make a terrible AV guy. Terrible AV guy. Everybody kind of quiet, sorry.
Are you excited your parents listed their home? Yes.
Did they list with the realtor? He goes, no. You can't believe what my parents just did to me. I'm going to live in my house another year. Isn't that cute? I'll send that. That's going to be in my PowerPoint. You guys can get that. So your for sale by owner action plan. Make your list. Pretty easy. Same times. Schedule your work. Prepare your scripts. Get a partner. Scripts. What am I asking you to do? Practice. Exactly. If you don't, I practice in a couple of weird ways. I have a tape set that will ask questions, and you got to get back. It gives you like a minute. And I'll ask a question, give you a minute. So you got to keep this stuff kind of tight. I try to get them like 30 seconds. You're not going to hold too many attention spans like it's going to go 2-3 minutes. Won't happen. Okay? So, but it's a, I can't remember, I'll send it to you. Can't remember where I got it, but it's a cool, it might have been Mike Ferry. But it's a great one. Okay, the other guy will do it for 2. What will you do? Those are the kind of questions that get asked on this tape, and it's so good. So I use it in the car. People think I'm nuts. Prepare and present a full report of value. Let me show you what mine looks like, okay? Everybody know, those are the new. Now, property marketing proposal, who's used it? You guys have it?
Yes.
30 pages of the best stuff we have available. It's static. You can't change it. You can't identify that it's you except by one thing, and I'll show you. Okay? It's the very best piece I've ever seen. Would you do me a favor? Could you go to the copy machine? I got stuff in there, stapled. It says marketing, proposal, process or something. Thank you very much. Future leader, by the way. Future leader. You watch her. She's got it. But I use these. I'll show you a little bit. The property marketing proposal, it's great. But if you take it in your report, when you're going to sit down in front of these people, just count an extra 30 minutes in your appointment. And let me note this. How many people been in a listing appointment, presentation? Oh, that's a real question, sorry. Okay. How many people noticed across the table that the seller's eyes were glazing over? Because you start going through crap they don't care about. Here's the deal with all clients. All clients. Stay focused and keep them focused on the process. Or on the results, excuse me. On the results, not the process. They want to get into the process. They'll want to tell you how to do your flyer. Oh, we don't like that photo. Who cares? My name and numbers on it, the price. Okay, that's all we need. I've always wanted to do that on a flyer. I've always wanted to do that. Just, here's the price, here's my number, call me, come buy it. I send that thing ahead of time. I send that ahead of time, and I do it because I do want them to go through it. It's important stuff. It's great stuff. That, I'm going to tell you, is the best stuff, and I do a lot of research on other companies. It's the best stuff in the world. It beats every other big box. And I don't think little companies can afford to produce that stuff.
You're talking about
The property marketing proposal, right. One on the left. It's a great piece. Bind it. Okay, and I'm going to give you my follow-up. You've seen that before, but I'm going to give it to you. It's my little process on how I touch those people from get-go to getting it listed. So selling your home, the property marketing proposal. In property marketing, in presentations in my office, click, it says it's listing presentation, buyer presentation. Were those not?
No.
Oh, shoot.
What do you have?
Oh, yeah, they stuck it. Oh, that's a great. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Got to pick that. That's excellent. Thank you. Guys, there'll be one somewhere for you. This is
tomorrow.
This is my checklist. I think there should be plenty. I think I did 30. This is my little follow-through sheet. You want me to go through real quick? You guys can figure it out?
Yep.
Okay. So, this is in where the presentations are. It just says intro letter. Okay? And this is the way I do this, because I'm going to have this sent to that seller ahead of time. Before I go back, I've gone there once, before I go back, I want him to have this. This page, my front end, types that on it, prints it. Easy. This, without the date and the name, this part is all the same all the time. And I sign it, and Kelly has 10 of those sitting in her file. And when I say I need a property marketing proposal sent to this guy, and that's on your delivery request, which is probably page 3, when I send that, she types that up, pulls out one of my originals, puts them in the first 2 pages of that property marketing proposal. But it's the only thing that's going to relate to me. Everything else in there relates to the company. Okay? This is my report of value. This is my report. This is the new one. It works great. Now I want you to keep this in mind. I've already sent them 30 pages of marketing. 30 pages of marketing. The report, the presentation you're going to see online, you don't have to do this, by the way. This is the way I do it. But the presentation that's online, when you get that, it's 49 pages, guys. Holy crud. I wouldn't sit through 49 pages. I get it down to what you're going to see is probably about 20. I do that by taking all the stuff that is what I already sent them, and I take it out. Because it is in there. It's like duplicated. Okay, it is in there. But I don't want to go through it. I want them to go through it. When I send it ahead of time, they've got time at their leisure to read it. Okay, and my statement to them is, go through there, and if you have any questions about anything, which is rare, guys, because every page is self-explanatory. I mean, you'll never get anybody tearing it. I've had one guy tear a page out. But here, if they don't tear any, there's one page that's going to put me over the top. One page is going to put me over the top of everybody. What page is it?
Price.
Price.
One.
Page. Who knows? Who knows? What's the one page? Your one page is going to be different than his one page, different than your one page. In the property marketing proposal, there's 30 of them. If I take it with me, there's one page going to put me over the top. What I got to do?
Make sure they do.
I got to go over 30 pages. That takes an extra half an hour or longer. And do you think they really are into, what do they want to know? There's only two things. Right now, this is what they want to know.
How much?
How much they're gonna.
How much am I going to get, and when am I going to get it? That's what they want to know. So, I talked, this is in here, this is pre-printed stuff, your journey, a little bit about them. Here's my bio. That's what my bio looks like, guys. That's it. You want to bio me? Pretty much my resume, it's there. That's it. Now, it's in the report, the body of the report. It's not a separate page they're going to recycle. It's in the body of the report. And because I put this thing together and it's nicely done, very professional, they're not throwing it away, which means they're not throwing my bio away. Okay? But I got to make it simple. Why did I put my face on there? I know, my ego. Why did I put my face on there? Where they recognize my face. All the time recognize my face. Man, I remember your name, I don't recognize your face. Who says that? Nobody does. Everybody will remember your face. Put your face on everything you do. If it's printed, your face is on it. And this is how you do it, by the way. Chop just a little bit of your head and put your nose dead center in the photo. Which that means, if I'm here, I'm only here. Okay? I'm not like here. Nobody cares I'm wearing a tie. Just get this. Okay? Does that make sense? Side note. Rabbit trail. Here's my stats, but I don't talk about my stats. Because I want this about them. I talk about the market. Here's where the market's at. These are their numbers. I don't say, here's my numbers. Guess what they're looking at though?
Your number.
My numbers. Okay? I don't have to go, look, I'm the biggest, bestest, mostest. Let them do that for you. I just want to talk here. You know, the average market time right now is 36 days. And things have been pricing off. We're like at 94% of list. Done. I don't want to go in. They instantly, honestly, the mind says go left to right, unless you're Jew. Left to right, okay? They started with my stuff. I'm the one that told them to go to the right side. Okay? So that's a great piece. Remember I told you to keep track of your numbers. Keep track of your numbers. If you're brand new, everything you do, you keep track. On these little follow-through sheets, it says date. That's the date they call me. That's the date this thing starts. I keep track of that date between the day I talk to you and the day we list. My goal is to continually scale that down. Continually scale that in. It's about a month right now. It's out there. Okay? Here for you. We're here for you. Here's kind of funny. It's going to have where you can put all of your teammates on it. Okay? Your support staff. Who is the young lady, long haired, who was just in? She's good. I like her. She's very good. Pay attention to those people, and I will tell you this one thing, and I'm sure you do it already. Appreciate those people. You know why you lose great employees? It's not for money. It's appreciation and recognition. Get it to them. Okay? If nothing else, a little tap, text. Hey, we really appreciate it. It goes a long ways, guys. Here, interesting. Okay, I've got Scott Stevenson, principal broker. Second guy on the list. Jason Waugh. I don't think Jason even knows he's on the list. Jason Waugh. You know why I put him on there? Is he a support for me, by the way? Do you know who Jason actually works for? Us. You know who I work for? You. You think it's the other way around? It's not. He's here to support your business. He is here to support your business. If I need something right now, honestly, and he does this for everybody, if I needed something and I didn't think anybody else could do it, I'd call him and he'll get it. Now, if I call him and somebody else can get it, he'll say, I'll have Scott call you. But he's my clearinghouse. He's on my team. You know what that means when I put on team and it's the president, CEO? Really? It's just one extra thing, because I can tell you this. Another guy goes in, he doesn't even place who his support is. They don't even put this down, because honestly, they don't usually have any. Okay? And I mean, this is my transaction coordinator, marketing coordinator. Now, I got my First American, and I got DJ, my lender, home services lending. Get them on there, okay? You got people, that's what you're saying, okay? Pricing. Geez, how long did it take me to get there? Well, okay, so there's cover sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and we're pricing. Why do I do it that way? Why do I put that right up front? Somebody said it. They don't care about anything else. There's only 2 things they want to know. So you know what? Let's get to it. And I usually tell them, these reports can be huge. I know there's only 2 things you really want to know, so let's get to it. I say it that way. So let's get to it. The next guy, if you're getting shocked, that's okay. If I yawn, you'll know why. That if I'm getting shocked, okay, the next guy, you know what he's bringing in? Honestly, because he thinks I got to bring it. I'm taking the tank in, man. Get the machine gun. We're going in. Okay? You know what he takes? The 49-page report. And guess where he puts the price? In the back. In the back. This is why they do it. They think they have to show their value in all their stuff, because they know this. As soon as I get done with price and net, they're probably not going to pay attention to anything else I say. Now, I set my 30 pages ahead of time. They've already gone through it. They already know all my marketing. I didn't even have to go through it. That's cool. If they reference back to something, great, let's talk about it. And some of these might be in there, but not many of them, like maybe 1 or 2. I don't like to go through stuff I don't have to go through because it just takes additional time. And here's, my paradigm shifted. My paradigm shifted. I kept thinking I'm wasting my time going through 30 pages. I'm wasting my time going through, whose time am I really wasting? It's a service industry. I'm wasting their time. Okay? I'm wasting their time. And if I give you something and I say, okay, read it right now, or I say, hey, take this home and read it. He'll read it when he's relaxed. He'll read it if he wants to read it. Okay? If I'm sitting here, we're doing homework. Hey, read. Justin's going, this guy, what an ass. Okay, pricing. Pricing. And I changed this up. I increased the size of the fonts. This is a PowerPoint, so you can do anything you want to do with it. Okay, I just talked about Mac, and I use this piece because of one word. Value. I do not want to get hung up on price. Price is a marketing issue. Value. Okay? Always talk about value. Absorption rate, bingo. Here's my pricing page. There's my pricing. That's it. And I do it this way. So, what's the number, by the way? As soon as I turn this page, what number did they go to?
319,890.
319,890. They went to price. They went to price. It's also the biggest number. But they went to price. Okay? We want to talk about value. High retail value, 325. Low retail value, 300. Okay, this isn't Neiman Marcus and this isn't Kmart. Okay? This is like Nordstrom's and Macy's. Okay? People will pay both, but they do it on budget. If I didn't have that extra 15%, I'd have bought that coat at Macy's. Okay? But it's usually based on the value. Buyers have to see, they see value based against price. That's why I'm here. I'm not at 339. I've made that mistake. Well, can't we put some negotiating room in there? What if they make a lower offer? What if they make a lower offer? What would you do if somebody made a low offer and the seller said that doesn't work? What would you do? Counter. Thank you. That's the word you want. It comes out of your mouth. That's why God made that form. Use it. Okay? Use it. Counter offer. But this is what I usually say. Look, here's your net, and I put a 315 number. I want to be somewhat realistic about this. I'm actually like halfway between the high and the low retail, but I didn't take it that way. I actually just used, here's my number, and here's probably what I can expect we're going to get into. Okay? At 315. Jack, if 315 is the number for you, I will make this commitment to you. If it comes in a penny less, I'd like to reject it. I'll reject it, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's just send it on. Let's go find another. Now, he's going to look at me sideways, because he knows I can use a counteroffer. Well, couldn't we counter? He just told me. He just told me he's willing to look at numbers that are less than. Okay, he just told me that by that answer. If he goes, that sounds good to me, I go, great. I just want to put it quick in writing, 315, any penny less, you give me permission to reject on your behalf. He goes, great. Here's what happens. You get an offer and it's at $314,999 and 99 cents. You're a penny less. You're a penny less. Crud. Penny less. Now what you're going to get is like a 305. Okay? Maybe you get 305. It doesn't matter what you get. He told you, I don't want to see anything under 315. I don't want to see it. Just reject it. I go, great. I'm about to reject this offer on his instructions, right? Okay? But I make one phone call first. I want to make a courtesy call. I want to call him and I want to say, hey, remember Jack? We talked about rejecting anything that came under 315? Yeah. Well, it happened. We got something, but it didn't hit the mark. And I just wanted to let you know, we did get an offer, which is positive, but it wasn't the number, so I'm going to reject it. What's the question he's going to ask first, more than anything? How much was it? Why is he asking me? Because if he won't take it, well, who cares? Why did he ask me? Because he might take it. Because he might take it. Now, this is what I do. I have two sets I will do that to. Okay? Builders, they usually go, yeah, go ahead and reject. Well, you know, that saves a ton of time. Holy crap. Let's push out. Okay, so builders are one. But when I do with the homeowner, I usually say just what I told you guys. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to call you, and I'm going to tell you we're going to reject an offer, and you're going to ask me one question. What is it? He's going to say, well, how much is it? Jack, you just told me you'll take less than 3. So if we go at that, I just want you to know that we might have to move it a little bit. And if you're okay with that, because you kind of just told me you are, I let them know. I don't want to play a game. I don't want to trick them. I tell them what I'm going to do. And all of a sudden it illustrated him. Yeah, that's the question I asked, because maybe I take less. How far off was it? Well, if it was within 1,000, it's gone. No, we'll take that. Well, holy crud, man. Why didn't we price this at $314,999? Okay? We're not that far off mark. So, here's my price. High, low. I do this again. I'm talking about value. And I put market price, not suggested list price. Market price. The market is always going to determine your values. And if you got this number right. Not the listing, the market. Put it on the market. You know what happens when you say, I think it's this, or this is my suggested list price? This is the suggested market price. The market's paying this. I put my number down. Hey, your number was wrong. Well, no, I was just telling you what the market was. Okay? Market numbers. And then I put here, after 10 showings, we evaluate all the little things, feedback, what the market's doing, what went off, what went on. Okay? I do all those things. And now I'm going to have to start changing. I did 10 days. I did 10 days. Or, excuse me, 10 showings. Because we were getting 20 in the first week. I mean, it was just crazy. I had 30 in a weekend, and we got 12 offers. That's a lot of work. That's when you're going to earn your money. And you're going to piss a bunch of people off. And they're in the industry. Ugh, terrible. But I put numbers as showings. I didn't put days. If I put days, what happens is, what would you normally put? We'll follow up, but we're going to talk about this when?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, if I had 30 showings in the first week and I've got no offer and nobody's been back in second, why wait? We missed it, Jack. And I prepped them for that. If the market's changed so much that I'm an idiot about this, I missed the mark that bad, we'll have to make changes right away. But it'll only be based on traffic. It's not going to be based because it's arbitrarily picked a time. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to probably have to go to days here soon. Because we're not getting as many showings. We're not getting 20 to tell you. But I probably wouldn't go any farther out than 10 days. And that reason being, if we weren't getting showings, now what's wrong? Okay, it could be marketing. If we're not getting showings, that could be my fault. Okay, marketing gets them in the door, price, presentation sells it. The bottom line, I said, depending on the item, and this is on it, depending on the items above, and I put, I may suggest a price adjustment, not a reduction, an adjustment. You adjust price to a marketplace. You don't reduce. When you reduce, you're taking their money away, and they see that as that. When you adjust, it's just an adjustment, okay? It's just an adjustment. That's all we're doing. I only changed this like 2 months ago, maybe. It used to say, I will suggest. I will suggest. Count on it. This goes here. We've had 10 showings or 20 showings, and we don't have anything, Jack. I will tell you we need to drop it. Or paint that purple walls. The net sheet's very simple, very straightforward. You're going to get this too if you want to use this. It's as basic as it gets. It's just an Excel spreadsheet. The percentage of the fee auto-calculates all. These auto-calculates it easy. I just put a realistic number, and the date you pick doesn't really matter, but you've got to prorate on something. So the way I do it, if we're meeting today, I go out. If we listed today, Jack, 30 days for market and 45 days to close. Now that's kind of why 75 days. That's the date I put. If it happens earlier, that's great. There's two things I put in here that you wouldn't see in any other net sheet typically. I put property preparation for sale, $750. We talked about some things that was, and you'll see in my report here in just a bit, that we needed some things attended to. I put the number in here, and the reason I do, I don't want them getting a net at 165, or no, excuse me, 163, 250, and they go, well, you didn't hit the mark. You didn't hit the mark. Well, because I didn't put the 750 in. I thought, well, no, 750 is yours. I mean, that's not a cost to close, is it? But yeah, it is. This I had to spend to get this done. So put that on your net sheet. Admin fee, prorated taxes, and the rest is blah, blah, blah. Loan balance, there's 1 and 2 spots for that. It's a very simple, easy form to use. Yes?
Would you put staging?
No, typically not. If I need it to be staged, that's an entirely different conversation. And the reason I do this is because I stick them for the staging costs. Builders, it's kind of a foregone conclusion we're going to stage. For homeowners, in Portland's market, we really haven't had to do much because they were buying it anyway. You could put piles of dog crap in the living room and they would buy it. For full price or more, with cash, close tomorrow. Now we're probably going to have to start doing something a little bit different. But I have those conversations as we're walking through a little bit on what we're going to prep, what we're going to do. And you'll see how I do that. Yes?
Okay, so the $750 you're representing as money that they're spending, but you're not necessarily doing their price for staging. I mean, I kind of didn't understand what you said.
So take staging.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Don't put it on there ever.
Yeah. Only because now if I was going to stage this house, and I know that already, I would put that cost in.
You would, okay.
I would.
Okay.
But I don't stage much.
Okay, we do.
I just don't stage much. Okay? If you're going to do that, I'd actually do this. I put property prep and put another line staging.
Yeah.
Okay? Staging. I'm going to front the cost. You guys will reimburse me at closing. When I say that to people, here's what did I just say? You're going to reimburse me at closing.
You're going to loan them money.
I'm loaning them money, and I got to make sure this thing clears. I'm going to get this closed. I will get your home sold because I want my $700 back. Market strategy, and I only talk about our brand. Here's today's buyers. These are all the things that we do to sell property. I mean, it's got everything on there. There is nothing that you could do under the sun to market a property that isn't on that list. But I highlighted the most important part, and that's about all I usually talk about. Jack, I'm going to tell you the number one complaint about real estate, you may know it, is communication. That's my commitment to continually communicate. And I'm pretty good about it. I'm in the car a lot. Gotta leave. Good to see you. Most people are in the car if they're in real estate. You know, those are great times to make phone calls. Hey, just want to talk to you. Unhappily, I'm going to report we don't have anything to report. That's all they need. They just want to know what's going on. What are you doing? Anytime you do something different, special, it's on the list and you saw it, it's work product that's going out, tell them about it. Because they think we sit on our duffs and wait for MLS and stuff. Okay? Tell them what you're doing. Earn the respect that what you're charging for is worth all of it. Okay? That's just I put little statements. Can't remember. I put little statements So this is just, I did have a Jack Jones. So Jack, and I just throw it in there. I actually move right past it. I don't even really stop on it. But are they going to pick this up and go over it later? Yeah. The reason I put that in there, that's a third-party endorsement. That's third-party endorsement. Put that stuff in there. It's important. But you don't have to read it. Excuse me. You don't have to read it. You don't have to point it out. They're going to get it. I've had people do this. I flip through a page and I just go, okay, and that's just somebody talking about me. You don't want to hear that. Turn it, and they go, no, no, no. Turn the page back. Northwest Knowledge, we're everywhere. Excuse me. We're everywhere. So here is the part everybody likes to know about. Property crap. What I got to do to get this thing sold. That's this page. That's not in your report. That you won't find that anywhere. Excuse me. I'm sending it to Tay so he can give it to you. But it's a great piece. It's simple. It's straightforward. Where did I get all this information from, by the way? Where did all those things come from? I'm going to list there. Where did they come from? Property walkthrough. That's exactly correct. I took notes. When I'm taking notes, I'm not walking around, oh, Johnny split his lip right here. Oh, that's great. I'm writing down, God, fixed wall. Big hole. Johnny's head's still in it. Okay, whatever. Items of attention. I do interior and I do exterior. And guys, I think this is really important. You can do it or not, but I think it's important. When you hand write something, you take personal responsibility for it. And people will read it. We have typed so much crap into here already, they don't want to see type. They're not reading it. I handwrite it, they pay attention to it, and it's important. That's why I handwrite it. I write it all out. I handwrite it. Front yard clean out. Paint the bathroom. You know, put a toilet in the main bath. I don't know why it's there, but it's covered up, you know, the hole. Maybe we need to put a toilet in there. I put that stuff. This is kind of their, hey, to-do list. We need to get this stuff done. Now, I can help you, and here's some contractors. We get Miguel over here, I get my roofer over here, blah, blah, blah. But all that stuff, that's our to-do list. Those are kind of the minimum things I need to get this thing on the market. Now, the open house checklist, or if you wanted to call it new listing checklist, you can adapt the wording. Those are all great things, but it's too much. This is stuff that almost at a minimum I've got to have. Almost at a minimum. Then the next step's yours. Thank you. Holy crud, Scott. Well, I didn't have anything in it. Well, did I need to do it? I sent them 30 pages. Go through that checklist real quick. Pick that up. The checklist is only doing this. I'm just going to review it real quick. Set up the initial walkthrough. Fill out the second page 2 and have somebody else confirm your appointment. Have somebody else confirm your appointment. Okay? I'm sorry, checklist, this guy. This guy. Okay? Have somebody else confirm your, don't be that person. You're going to do that the day of the appointment, but not right now. This is the day before you're going, you've never even met these people. I'm going to go and I'm going to confirm my appointment. You give it to the front end. You could do it for me. I'll do it for you. It doesn't matter who does it, just not you. Okay? Very professional. There's 2 reasons I do it. Very professional. I'm about to get professional fees. And nobody else does it. Nobody else does it. Which I think is a crying shame for our industry. You know how much money? I make more money than my doctor does right now. He's only first year. First year. He'll be making more money than me soon. But in this regard, I've got to somewhat illustrate I'm professional. And because nobody else does it, if everybody, 12 other guys show up, they're going to do reports for these people. 12 other guys, I can tell you, 11 of them don't confirm their appointments. So now who stands out when he does? Okay, that's all I want. I just want to be different. The second one, so I order the appointment confirmation. I walk through, file my notes. Before I leave that house, I get in my car, I pull out behind the seat next to me, that little envelope. And I ship a card. I take it to the post office. Don't do it and then not take it to the post office. Because, okay, you know how much money you're about to make by taking a 50-cent envelope to the post office? I think I would do it. I think I'd do it every day. Prepare the market analysis, order delivery request. So the delivery request, the third page, is the property marketing proposal. Now the way I work it, in Portland, I showed this with you before, in Portland, Kelly produces the piece. I don't even touch it. I send the form or I call her, this is what I need. And she produces the whole thing, which is cool, because who does she work for, by the way? She works for me. Kelly works for me. She's on my team. Kelly works for me. Kelly puts that thing together. She puts it in an envelope. She calls Sinboy. They come pick it up and they take it to the house for $7. For $7. You know what we're doing in Portland because it got so cheap? I need flyers delivered to the house. Sinboy comes and picks them up and takes them to the house, puts them in the flyer box. Yeah, isn't that cool? But here's the deal. Get it delivered. Just don't be the deliverer. Don't be the deliverer. Find somebody else to take that. Okay? If you thought, man, there's nobody that even lives there, you know, I'm on Mercer Island or someplace, and there's nobody that's going to come over here. Mercer, you have to take a boat too?
No.
No. What's the one you have to take? Orca?
Vashon.
Okay, so nobody's going to go over there and deliver that for me. So you might want to take it on your initial walkthrough. Okay? You might want to take it on your initial walkthrough. But it needs to get in your hands. And if you can do it so you're not the person that delivered it. Okay?
You can't just mail it? Put it in the
So
mail?
you could, but here's the deal. I get it in the mail, I might get it before I'm back, and I might not. Who knows? Okay? Because that's not going out from their house as I'm sitting there writing my thank you card. Okay? The other point, if I mail it or I have it delivered, what would you feel is more important? What's more, wow, this must be a big deal if you delivered it. Holy crap. We don't deliver stuff. Even though it's important, we don't deliver it. Deliver it. Man, all of a sudden I'm differentiating myself from everybody. And the big thing, guys, it sounds terribly selfish. Yeah, they need to know the info. I need to get it in their hands. But I don't want to spend the extra 30 minutes sitting with them. If this appointment does not go well, guess where I found out? Like in the front, with price. Sometimes I have these appointments, we never even get the net sheet. Because they're all, for sale by owner, let me tell you, that guy's got a head about this big. What do you do with people with big egos?
Feed into it.
Yes, you feed them. I heard one, can't remember the guy's name in Federal Way, and he goes, oh, you stroke them. You know, you do. You know, give them their, hey, sure, come on, buddy. Let them have it. I don't need to be the big play. Let me be the little guy. I'll sit over here. That's okay. You be the big guy. I'll give that to you. Hey, that's fine. But you know what? If I can't get past price with this guy, what's all the other stuff matter? Really? What's all the other? All I'm doing is wasting his time, wasting my time. Lori's going, hey, you know, it's 7 o'clock. We're supposed to be at dinner. Where are you? I'm in front of a house writing a card. Don't bother me right now. Okay, that's the report. Any questions about that? This little follow-up, when you deliver that piece, oh, the third-party endorsement, by the way, last piece. Third-party endorsement, that's page 4. I send that to Michelle Cooper at First American. I send that to Michelle at First American. And she calls, and this is her conversation, and I gave her the script, by the way. Hey, hi, I'm Michelle Cooper, work for First American Title. We understood that you were interviewing with Scott. And we worked with Scott, done that for about 20 years now. I just want to introduce myself. We handle your title and escrow needs. And if you have any questions about any of that, feel free to call. I'll be glad to help you. But that's not the important part of the call. This is the important part. Oh, and by the way, you couldn't do better than Scott. You couldn't do better than Scott. You know what a third-party endorsement like that does for you? And somebody in the industry doing that for you? And people go, well, now wait a minute, she's a neutral third party, she can't do that. What happens when I get the listing? Who gets the deal? Michelle does. Sure she's doing it. Her regional director, I think we're going to watch it now, she goes, Scott, Michelle told me about this thing you're doing. And I was thinking she's going to tell me, no, hey, you got to stop. She goes, could you get everybody to do this? Why?
Because they get the business.
Yeah, they get the business. They get the business. Now, let's push through a couple things. I want to do a little role play. Will you be my role play? Who's been in the business for a while? Who knows what the objections are going to be? Oh my gosh, you guys.
There's a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to give it to you, and then I'll give you what I say. Objections, scripts, things like that. They're all. Oh, by the way, did I give you this? Yes. Yeah. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah. Oh, I did. Okay, good. Ship these. This is about commission. The hardest thing we ever deal with. The hardest thing we ever deal with is fees. And that's because it goes right to their heart. It's their money. So you all play selling. So I presented my report. So somebody talked to me. And you know, I'm not good at this. This is why I practice. I'm not good at this. But I'm going to try. So somebody give me some objections. I just laid one big one in front of you. Yeah, commission. So here's the deal. You saw on my sheet, how much am I, what's my fee?
6%.
6? Hey, will you do it for 4? Frank, no. No. But I'll tell you why. I couldn't keep my business alive like that. And I don't know how companies do. He'll say, typically, because he knows it's 4, okay, if it's just for him, I probably just walked away right now, the objection's gone. But he's met with another broker. The other guy said he'd do it for 4. Here's what I've gone to say now. And this has changed a little bit for me. And I don't want to sound uppity. But Frank, I don't know what he sees this as worth. I think it's a little bit in his fee. But I know what and I will tell you this, that extra dollar is a little bit like insurance. Do you have car insurance? Of course, everybody does. Do you have car insurance? Is it expensive? Yeah, relatively speaking. At the end, I mean, do they give you breaks on insurance because you ask for it? No, but they have to run a business. They got to have a specific number. If you don't use it, do you get the money back? I don't either. Well, here's what. You have it for one big reason. What is it?
Make sure it's covered.
What if, those are the magic words, what if I got in an accident? What if somebody got injured when I got in an accident? Well, you know what, Frank? You pay for that insurance whether you use it or not, but you gotta have it. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm your nationwide. When you get into trouble in this field, and it can happen very quickly and it goes sideways very fast, I'm here to do that. That's my experience. Now, you guys are newer, but that's our company's experience. That's what we're great at, is being able to see problems and stay away from them. The insurance company would probably tell you to turn left here instead of turning right in traffic if they could. That's a second. But the other one I liked was, the other guy said he'd do it. Now, Redfin's in this market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they're, what, a point? Okay. If I heard that, what I would do, and I don't know, Redfin in my market has no market. I mean, they're like less than a point in market share. They're non-existent, literally. I mean, 1 out of 200 or 300 listings will be Redfin. Okay. Frank, the only thing I'm going to say, they're on salary. I mean, they get a check. You don't want somebody who's getting paid a check. You know how I get motivated to get the job done? I have to feed my family, put my kids through college. I'm very good at it. Wisconsin. Yes. Wisconsin. Wisconsin. It's 85 there. Wisconsin. But I heard this one. I used this with Paul Frink this morning, and he wrote it down, which surprised me because he's Mr. Script. Oh my gosh, he's Mr. Script. But he said, would you do it for 4? Actually, he said, would I do it for 5? You know, in a lot of cases, I would take a 5. Frank, you know, I'll tell you who I do 5s for. My builders and repeat clients. I do have a program, though, that actually could save you some dollars. Keeps a couple of bucks in your pocket. If you'll refer a couple of people to me during our course of our transaction, I take a half a point right off. Because that's the lifeblood of my business. That actually saves me advertising costs. I mean, and I would love it to be yours, and I know you know good people, you're good people. And that's how I set that up. Now I also have, and I think I've shared this with you, I have a 6, of course, that's my base, 6.5 and a 7. Gee, how do you get the extra? Mrs. Jones pays me an extra 0.7% because I set up, let me get Miguel over here. Let me get my painter over here. Let me get my roofer to get a bid. I'll tell you what, let's do this. And I'll take care of her yard. I'll pay for the cost of maintaining her yard during the course of the transaction. I take care, because she's 85 years old. Do you think she even wants to take this on? She doesn't even want to move, but she knows she has to. She knows she has to. So I want to help her. You know, does she care about the money right now, by the way? What does she care about? You know, Miss Jones, my job, honestly, is not to list your home. It's to get you the marijuana point. And I know you want to be there. Let's get you there. She is not going to care about the fee. I do that stuff. Here's the biggest reason. I don't do it for the fee. You know why I do it? It needs to get done. And if I leave it to her, it's never going to get done. We'll be listing this in 2020. Yeah, those are tough. And that's where that extra fee schedule is there. I don't offer that to everybody because not everybody needs it. But you get over 75 with me, and I get, you guys know my mom's 80. She refers a lot of people to me. They're all older, old, blue-haired ladies. And that's the time I pull that out. That's the time. And let me say, they love it. Because no one has offered that, by the way. What they said is, here, go do this. Nobody has offered to help. Nobody. But, so the other guy said he would do it for 4. Frank, my business model sets up, I couldn't. I just want to know. But I do want to illustrate it. You get what you pay for, revolt. I want to go for a steak. Let's go for a steak. Where's the best steak place? By the way, it's El Gaucho. You guys got to go.
Yeah.
Took my brother last night. He's up for business. And we go. I had no freaking ideas about to stick him for a $225 bill. He looked at me and went, I think next time. But El Gaucho. Why would you go to El Gaucho?
For a great steak.
Great steak. What? They got good service. What happens? What happens if the service isn't good? I mean, the steak was terrible. Well, they'd probably make it right.
They would.
They would
Oh,
make
they
it
would,
right.
yes.
100%. They would make it right. Frank, I got to tell you, you could get that at Sizzler. You could get that steak at Sizzler. Why do you pay so much money at El Gaucho? The very best service. I'm El Gaucho. I hate to think the other guy is Sizzler, but I don't know. But I'm El Gaucho. And the biggest thing I do for you, Frank, is look down the road and see the problem and figure out how we're going to go around it, or through it, or under it, beside it. It's a preposition. Pick any. You ever need to do that in school and write out 40 prepositions? Those are the ones I got. Does that make sense? Does that help? I wouldn't charge you if I didn't think I needed the dollars to do this job. Now, pick this up. I just talked to him like a person. Did it come out of script? Did it come out of script? It doesn't come out of script. You know why it doesn't come out of script? It's script. Do you know why it didn't come out?
Practice.
Because of practice.
Practice.
Practice, practice, practice. Say it so you could say it in your sleep. But here's the deal. Keep practicing. Nathan Jones, I just keep bringing him up. He literally has a script in front of him. He could write it. He could teach it. It's burned in his brain, I think, but he uses a script. So be willing to use a script. The script's here, and I've got more. Oh, go ahead.
How long do you think on average it takes to, produce a script that doesn't necessarily sound like it was rehearsed?
So here's the deal. Any of them will sound like they're not rehearsed if you practice them to the point that they're not rehearsed.
Right. So memorize, essentially.
And make them yours. Make them yours. So your vocabulary is different than mine. Okay? So use your vocabulary. Don't use mine. And if they say walk and you want to say run, well, say run. Okay? If you find a situation, though, where maybe I should say walk here, then you know you can do that.
Use your tools.
And just practice. I mean, it's got to come out so it's easy. Because here's what the other guy's doing. Here is what the other guy's doing. One, he's reading his report, and I was with a brand new agent, bless her heart, I was sitting next to her. She gets the report. You know, we all have to learn how to read upside down, right?
Right.
She turns it to her, and she's reading it like this. And this is the, and I mean, it was like, and I just let her go. It was kind of a dopey appointment anyway, but I just let her go. It's like, wow. So we've got some stuff to work on. Okay, you're probably not in that boat. Okay, but part of it was practicing her scripting, and part of that was speaking it while she's doing this. Okay, while she's presenting. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Questions? I know that was fast, you guys. They only gave me 2 hours. This is like a 4-hour class, by the way. Because we tend to do this. After I get to this point, you guys all break up into 2s and 3s in your practice. Tay told me, if you try to pull that shit there, it's not going to work. So I have one, you know I do some, oh, shoot. Can somebody go make me a couple of copies?
Me?
Oh, here, Russ is on it.
How many of these?
Whatever, 20, whatever. You know I like to do a little motivational. So I've got one of those for you. The feedback form, he's going to bring them. If you can get those turned in, I really appreciate it. Part of that is they don't get better unless you tell me. And you don't have to be constructive. I mean, be mean. It doesn't matter. I'm a real estate broker. I don't have any feelings.
I mean, you probably know who the Wright brothers are. The Wright brothers were evolutionaries. They changed and revolutionized flight. But I'm asking you all a simple question. How many times did they fail? The answer is nobody knows. Why? Life doesn't care. Because the first time you fly, you change the world forever. Your flops and your failures yesterday doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter about what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happens to you. The only thing matters, what are you going to do about it? As long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself. You can decide that you're going to stand up to life. It's necessary you take responsibility for it. That you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally. Yes, I'm in charge here. I'm going to do something about this situation.
It's about how you seize the moment right now and how much you advance it for tomorrow.
It's how we reacted to these challenges in our lives that determine our greatness. If you start something, finish it. Finish it. When you take that challenge, when you answer the call, and you see the other side of pain, it's called glory.
Life is hard. Yeah, you might get hurt. Your heart might get broken. You might lose your job. But you still gotta commit.
I'm telling you, don't give in. And don't ever give up. That ain't what we do.
Don't hesitate. Go. You might get hurt, you might lose something, but it's like you can't experience the joy that is intended for you in life if you don't go. You gotta go, man.
Our race don't have a day. A day when you were born and a day when you die. And they got a dash in between. And that dash defines what your legacy is.
Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over.
Life is a fight. It's a fight for integrity. It's a fight for character. It's a fight for a good reputation. It's a fight for your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. Why? Because they don't give you those things when you're born. So every morning, I've got to wake up and I've got to fight. I got to fight for my dreams. I got to fight for character. I got to fight for integrity. I got to fight my fight. It's about fighting our fight.
We don't give up. We fight.
Keep fighting in the midst of the struggle. Keep fighting. You only lose when you quit.
Remember you did everything you had. No matter what nobody on the outside said. Fight your fight.
So here's what I'm going to say, and then we're going to be done. You guys, to work in this industry, to be very good, you got to fight. You got to fight for it. Because you know what? There's another guy out there like me that will fight you for it. You fight every day for your integrity, for your character. We fight for our clients. We fight for the business. This is what I want you walking away from training, from script practice, from all these things. I'm in charge here. I'm in charge here. When you go into this appointment, they're not in charge, you're in charge. They want you when you get done. It's your decision if you want them. That's the attitude I want you to have, and you've got to have it. You want to be successful? Go out there and be successful. I got beat up yesterday. You know what? That was yesterday. You guys know my personal story. Stevensons don't quit. We never give up. My boys live by that now. I take it to work with me. I take it to everything I do. Because I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. There's somebody there that needs me. And you know what? That seller needs what I've got. They need what I've got. Then I'm there to provide it. I'm in charge here. We're done. 3 o'clock, holy smokes! Guys, that's the first time I've ever been out of here on time. Thank you very much for being here, by the way.
Thank you, Scott.